There it is. Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the final workshop of this series. Not ever, but for this series. We will wait just 30 seconds or so, and then we'll just get going because I haven't learned how to not breathe or how to breathe in these sessions. I have so much content that I want to cover, which is a good thing, but it's gonna go fast here. And we'll just wait a couple more seconds. Everyone having a good day? Feel free to drop in the chat. Love it when people engage.
Absolutely. Anybody in Florida? I just heard about this storm that's a brewing, Patrice.
Oh, Patrice. Oh no. Are you close? Is it where you're?
I honestly don't know where it is. I've lived in Florida most of my life, so it's kind of like okay, we worry when it gets, when it starts getting closer, then yeah, like the hurricane that just came through that went through like the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast, and it looked like we were going to get hit with it. And just before, it started going more west, like a day before. So it just, yeah. It's not anything to be taken lightly by any means. I definitely don't take it lightly. I have been through some pretty significant ones, but yeah, it's just kind of like, okay. I see it keeps getting gloomy, and that's what I was wondering. I'm like, is it gonna rain? So
All right. Well, I hope you stay safe and all of your loved ones.
thank you.
All right, we're going to get started here. So today we're going to be talking about scaling Postal, different sales sequences with gifts that convert. Let me just hop in here. I'm Katie. I am your global campaign strategist and tour guide for today. I come from the world of sales development and fundraising before Postal for nonprofits. And now my role is really to help postal customers fly using offline campaigns. Last week I did this fun gift for gifts, and I'm going to do that again today. The theme for the day is going to be finish the song lyric. So the first person who puts the correct song lyric for this song, so there's a GIF of the band, and then there's a song lyric. So the first person who gets it is going to get some Postal swag. So here we go. I've got sunshine on a Patrice cloudy day. Way to go. A lot of people knew that. So Audra is going to DM you your prize. So there's a couple more throughout. Would love to know, drop where you're joining us from. I am joining from Duluth, Minnesota on the shores of Lake Superior. We are so close to it looking like this right now. The weather has turned. It was like 90 degrees on Sunday, and now it's like 60. So that's life in Minnesota. But it's beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful time. Anyone, where are you guys all from? Chicago?
I live in Eagan, in the Twin Cities.
You do?
Yep.
You're in cities? Oh, fun.
Yep.
I love it. Hi, Joe. Oh, Jade. Cool. It's not always that I have people who know where Duluth is, so this is fun. All right. Well, today we're gonna dive into a couple direct send plays. We're going to be featuring two of our customers, Forest and Source Scrub. One is a two-part AirPods gifting play, and then one is booking meetings for in-person events or getting people to using a gift as an invite almost to those events. We're going to talk about a play that we use internally, which is an ABM play using intent data. And then the age-old new gig, old customer play, but this has been wildly successful for our customers as well. So just going to walk through that one as well. Little review. This is kind of my approach to planning offline campaigns. If I meet one-on-one with you, this is kind of how I approach building those with you. So starting with kind of campaign context, like what are the goals of your campaign? What's the timeline we're looking at? Who's our target audience? That's probably one of the most important things, right? Who are we targeting with this? Does this make sense? The budget that you're working within, budget specifically for kind of the gift or the direct mail piece that you'd like to send. Who are the teams involved in execution of this campaign? A lot of times campaigns that I work with customers on it might be led by marketing, but we're working pretty closely with sales or CSMs, kind of those individual contributors who own the accounts or the prospect accounts. What does success look like? And then what are the tactics and the tech stack that we have at our disposal? And then from there, we talk about the gift. So based on your budget, based on the timeline, you might go with one of these three options. Paper Plane Agency, that's our internal creative services agency. So if you're looking for something custom, branded, bespoke, I might recommend working with Paper Plane to create something that's going to be really one of a kind. Postal warehousing kits or bundles. So if you have postal warehousing, you have the ability to create bundles are kind of on the fly building, or kits like kitting items together. So if you've already produced swag, I might recommend, well, let's use some of the swag you already have, right? Maybe we produce an insert card that goes with those kits that has a QR code that drives to a landing page to like book a demo or sign up for an event or whatever. And then lastly is the postal marketplace, which is going to be those on-demand items, thousands of them that you have at your disposal. So for quick campaigns, right, that's when this is going to be really helpful. And then lastly, sending strategy. So how are we going to send this gift? Do we have their address? Can we send this directly to them as a surprise and delight play that we can follow up on? And then sending a magic link. There's a lot of flexibility with using magic links, or a personalized gift email. And then with that sending strategy, we talk a lot about, okay, who is the team that's going to be doing the actual sending? What technology do we have that is involved? So that's just kind of the background. I'm going to talk through SourceScrub, this direct send two-part play where they used a custom paper plane kit and branded AirPods. So the first gift was the paper plane kit, and then they followed it up with an offer for AirPods. SourceScrub is they're a market-leading deal sourcing platform for investment and M&A firms who are looking to research and find and connect with potential founder-owned companies. So that's just a background on them. But for this campaign, they were looking to book meetings with key contacts at target accounts. We started planning this in May with the goal of sending these at the end of June and follow up in July. And we were able to stick pretty closely to that timeline. Target audience was 100 C-suite prospects at UK target accounts. So they were kind of targeting investment firms and banks for this. And they had about $15,000 to spend. We were able to come in a lot lower than that, which was always nice to see, because then they could replicate this play with additional folks. Marketing and sales partnership here. They were looking to book demos and create opportunities. And tech stack they were looking at was Postal, Salesforce, Outreach, Lean Data. So that's the kind of background. And for their first gift, they decided, let's do something that's lower cost, but still custom, right? So they put together a custom box, had a custom insert card in it that had a QR code that led to a landing page, a SourceScrub landing page to book a meeting. And the teaser gift that they offered, and this was to keep the costs low for that initial gift send, was an AirPods case that was branded. So the final product looked like this. So it was drawing attention to, hey, something's missing from this. You flip the card over, it's the QR code, book a demo. We'll send you the AirPods that are missing from this case. And the second step then was sending the AirPods via Magic Link once the meeting was attended. So they sent this kit directly to those prospects. They had their addresses or were able to look those up. And then they followed it up with a sales sequence. And Vida, who I worked pretty closely with on this throughout, so there was, there's some initial response of, people going to the landing page, but where they booked the most of their meetings was through this sales follow-up, right? So this was the basic outline that they followed. And it was a pretty small sales team, so they were able to work really closely with marketing and sales here on this play. But I think there were 3 account executives executing the follow-up for these 100 accounts that they were targeting. So the results here, all-in cost for this was about $8K for them, for the branded kits, and then the branded AirPods that they sent out. They successfully delivered this to 97 prospects. 3 of those kits went to they were returned to sender and then got left in the rain, so they weren't able to resend those ones out. But they booked 10 demos with their target contacts, and about 200K was created. Very successful for them. They're actually doing this play again in the EMEA region. So this was a UK campaign that they are going to make more of an evergreen campaign with accounts that they haven't been able to get in front of. So that is one play. We'll do a little.
I have
yes,
a question.
go ahead.
So
Yeah.
just curious on that, the 97 that were successfully delivered, was that the first soft gift, just the case, or was that the case and the AirPods?
So it was just the case. So that was kind of their way of saving money, right? Was investing a lesser amount. Like they weren't going to send AirPods to all these people. It was, we're going to create a kit that's not worth $250. It's worth more like $40 to create that. And the teaser gift in there is the AirPod case. And that's what I want to drive them to book the meeting. Does that make sense? It's a good question.
Yep. So the 10 was the actual AirPods.
Yes. Yep. So 10 people got the AirPods from this. And that's where that was kind of built into the budget. I think the AirPods total was about 2,000. So the paper plane kit was about 6,000 to create it, to send to the 100 people.
Okay. All right. So about 10%.
Yeah, 10%.
Sounds good.
Gift for gift. You are my fire, Sherry. Amazing. Love it. We're actually going to be featuring Sherry and Forrest next. So what a segue. So Sherry and the Forrest team have been experimenting with a lot of direct sends. Wanted to feature one of their plays, the direct send cupcakes play, and then we're going to talk about another send they did and some learnings that they gained from there. But this cupcake play was ahead of a conference, and the kind of tagline they went with was wanted to make finding us at the conference a piece of cake. So the background on this, they were hoping to drive some booth engagement and invite these folks to a trade show talk and sponsored cocktail hour to engage with prospects or with their reps who are at the conference. It was a quick turnaround, so they wanted to use something from the marketplace here. They sent this out to 40 target contacts and accounts. The audience was a little more tech savvy. There was a stronger brand awareness of Forrest as well. They had about 2.5K to spend on this. Marketing and BDR alignment there. And then the goals were we want to get people to our booth. We want to book demos and then obviously close some revenue here too. Tech stack that they had access to. And then they chose the Cupcakes by Melissa in the marketplace. And they did a direct send. So they had all of the addresses for these folks. I believe, Sherry, and you can keep me honest here, but I believe it's a little bit easier for your audience to find their addresses versus email addresses. So that's one of the reasons why they go with this play. So the results here, they had 19 of these folks convert to booth leads, booked 5 demos, and 3 of those converted to Forrest customers, which was an awesome success here. The other play I wanted to feature from them was this brand partnership play that they did. They had a little bit more time, so we actually worked with Paper Plane to create a more custom kit that was branded with one of our marketplace vendors, Noms. So this is just a nice thing to keep in mind. Both Noms and Cupcakes by Melissa were able to do some kind of quick turnaround projects with them. So if you wanted to do a play that had, like you were sending cupcakes out to someone, or a group of people, you could do a custom sleeve, you could do a custom insert card inside if you want to drive action to whether it's a landing page or an event that you're hosting. So there's some additional customization there. And the turnaround time again is like 2 to 3 weeks. But for this play, they partnered with a brand. They were trying to bring attention to that brand partnership, with the intention of driving people to sign up for demos, and to use Forest. And they were taking advantage of kind of that branded marketing, with that partnership to promote the salons. They sent it out to 104 salons. The kits cost total about $6K, and some results here. So they did have 20 responses, so about 20% engagement with this, but not as successful as they would have liked in terms of the demos that were booked, and they had one new customer. But this is where I'd love to kick it over to Sherry, to share a little bit more about what you learned from this play and then how you're going to apply it to future plays. So Sherry, I'll let you take the floor.
We got Tale of Two Sends. The first one just noted is that they, the group that we were sending to are more tech savvy. They're in the business space. They know us. And we sort of assumed that in the second send, which was a mistake. And so we were trying to highlight the partnership. We had addresses that were salons that carried the brand that we had partnered with, but we didn't recognize that our brand recognition wouldn't be there as well. It's an expensive brand, and it's something that we usually do well in like premium salons and higher end salons with our software. And so we sent these sort of assuming that they would know who we are, and we used our Forest logo and not our Forest Salon software logo. And so a lot of people thought that Forest was the cookie company. So we lacked our brand recognition, which was a misstep on our part, but failing is learning. And so a lot of the pitch turned out to be a double pitch. Like we were trying to pitch the partnership. We were like, did you get your cookies in the mail? And they were like, oh, we didn't know who those were from, even though there was, branded information in there. And so a lot of it was doing like a double pitch. Like we were trying to pitch the partnership, and then we wound up pitching Forest kind of on they were like, who, and so there was a lot of kind of scrambling to figure out the messaging that we sort of assumed would be there already. So our takeaways were more brand awareness work on the front end, either with direct mail, with ads, and just trying to warm people up a little bit better. And also to use the logo that says Salon Software when we're not sure we have the brand recognition. So it was kind of a bonehead thing in hindsight, but you can always be a Monday morning quarterback. We didn't get as good of results from this one, but the cake one did go very well. And we were very, very happy with the response that we got from that. So we're learning all the time. We're happy that you guys are here to give us some ideas and guide the sends. And we've been really happy.
Love it. I didn't speak much to the like the BDR follow-up as part of these campaigns. Do you want to share a little bit more about like what that looked like in the partnership there?
Yeah, so we did an email before the cookies landed that said, keep your eyes on your mailbox, something's coming from Forest kind of thing. And then we had, I think for this one, I think it's 8 steps. 4 of them are emails and 4 of them are calls. So there are emails that explain the partnership. They have the visuals and the branding. It's harder with emails because you don't know if they're being read. And for us, especially with this list, the physical addresses are very verifiable. Like they're a building, they're a salon. They haven't moved. Generally, they tend to be there for a long time. That's how their customers find them. So the direct mail does tend to work really well for us. Emails, sometimes they go to the front desk, sometimes they go to an admin, sometimes they go to a manager. We just don't know sort of where they're landing. And sometimes it's totally fine and the messaging gets there. And sometimes people are like, no, I didn't see it. It
Mm.
also is worth noting that our target audience is a salon owner, and a lot of them are behind the chair still. So there are some that do just manage the salon and kind of do the day-to-day stuff, but a lot of them are still behind the chair. So it is really hard to get somebody on the phone. It is really hard to get somebody reading their email consistently, especially if it's a sales sort of, it's an unknown sender or that kind of stuff. So this is a little more in your face. It's a little more like it creates sort of an obligation. And that's, we want to delight and have something experiential that they can open and be like, oh, that's nice, or food, because they're frequently running around and they need to shove something in there really fast while they're in between clients. So we keep these things in mind when we send, but it is a sort of a special group.
Yeah, totally. Okay, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. This is a great play to try, especially, I think Forest is unique in that, the salons that they're targeting, they have a physical address. We know that that's their physical address. And I think for other B2B companies aren't as lucky, with our target audience. We'd have to do a little bit more digging. But I do know there are solutions out there for finding people's addresses, but sending to a home address versus an office is a very different feel too. So both of these plays, both with Forest and with Source Scrub, were sent to the office buildings. So I think they were successful in that way, and it felt more of like a professional entry point as well. Okay, we'll move on to the next play. So this is an internal play that we ran during our Q2. I would say that this tiered intent data ABM play does really require like tight partnership and buy-in from both your marketing and your sales team for it to work, for it to be successful. Internally, this was really led by marketing, by our demand gen director and our field marketing manager. They made it as easy as possible for the sales team to execute on it. But we focus really on targeting the right people at the right time and using gifts as a way to accelerate getting to those conversations once we've identified that, hey, this is a good account for us to target. So context for this one, we're trying to basically start creating new opportunities with target accounts. The kickoff for this campaign was in June, which meant planning for it started somewhere around April, and it ran throughout Q2. To start, the sales team, the account executives and the SDRs identified 15 accounts that were already showing intent that they wanted to target. And then every week, the marketing team, they have a surging accounts report in Salesforce that they drive our account executives and our SDRs to add additional folks to their outreach plan. So I'll show you a little bit of a visual on that too, so it's a little easier to follow. But they had about $10K budgeted for a custom gift through Paper Plane. And again, sales marketing, our account executives and SDRs are part of this play. The goal was 300K in pipeline added, and the tech stack. So on the sales side, they're using Outreach, Salesforce, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and Zoom Info. And then on the marketing side, it was Salesforce, HubSpot, 6 Sense for intent data. The gift that we used was kind of a timely seasonal picnic pack. So this is something we created through Paper Plane. So again, Paper Plane projects, they typically take 4 to 8 weeks to create, to produce. And we did, as far as like the sending strategy, the first gift was sent through a off of a step in Outreach. So with Postal, you're able to trigger a gift off of an Outreach step. So we use that internally for our Outreach sequence. So the first gift was sent from our demand gen director. We did a peer-to-peer gifting play because we target marketing leaders mostly. And then later on in that Outreach sequence, we had a magic link that was from the account executive or the SDR that linked to their calendar directly. And I'll get into this a little bit more in the results, but we had a pretty there was I guess like a breakdown, right? Of, I would say about 30% accepted that first personalized gift email that was triggered, and 70% that magic link. So the follow-up, right, of the sales team is really important there. Our target audience, so again, just the visual here is helpful. The account executives and SDRs, they each chose 90. They each chose 15 to get to a total of 90 target accounts to start, and they dropped those contacts into a 6-week outreach sequence that started with that picnic pack and then had follow-ups with emails, calls, LinkedIn engagement. On the marketing side, they were targeting a larger group of 2,000 ICP accounts with nurture emails. They had a smaller gift offering, they had ads. And as those accounts showed intent, sales would be notified of, hey, here's the surging accounts report in Salesforce. And then they would move those contacts into that same outreach sequence. So just to make it super easy, week 1, they added 2 to 3 contacts from 15 target accounts to the sequence. This is, generally what the sequence looked like. There was that exec outreach from Alex, our demand gen director, which triggered the gift from outreach. And then all of those contacts were put into that 6-week outreach sequence. And then week 2 and every week afterward, this is kind of what our demand gen director would say, like, morning squad, here's your weekly surging accounts report. So either they're showing intent or they're engaging with content from our website. Please spend today and tomorrow finding contacts for these accounts and add to the existing sequence. So throughout the quarter, every week, the SDRs and the account executives are adding additional accounts that they're going after. The purpose of this was really so that the team could stay nimble and on top of accounts as they're showing intent. So the results are almost in. We're just going to do one more gift for gift here. I never miss a beat. Anyone? No one? Taylor Swift? Oh, Jade. Okay, perfect. Go, Jade. Lightning on my feet is correct. Way to go. So this play has been really successful for us. We've contacted about 1.5 K contacts at these accounts. We've got 87 picnic packs accepted. We created 100 total. So we're still running this play until we run out of those picnic packs. And 760K in new pipeline was created. So a couple wins here. Sales and marketing were really working together on this play, right? There's communication every single week of surging accounts. Our sales enablement manager also she gives a notification every single day of, hey, these are the picnic packs that were accepted today. And she tags the SDR and the account executive to make sure they're following up. So the other thing I think I have, oh yeah, this is another big one. So a lot of these deals are still in motion, but we did have one 10K close one. So that essentially paid for the cost of the gift to all of these, but we not only had, great responses. I mean, you hear, I look forward to connecting. Can you share more information? But a lot of these people too, like the gift is the conversation starter. Sometimes it doesn't always lead to like the meeting being booked, but it can just build rapport with the company, get you closer to the right person. So just something to keep in mind there too. That's that play, and we're at time. If you have to go, feel free to go. This one will probably just take a couple minutes to run through. And thank you for joining if you have to drop now. But I'm just going to keep going and you can catch up in the recording. New gig, old customer play. We use user gems for this internally. A lot of our customers can do this either through a tool like user gems, or you could use Sales Navigator, LinkedIn to do a more manual targeting of contacts who have changed jobs in the last 90 days. I think you can do that in Zoom Info too today, but if you wanted to do something a little more manual. One gift for gift. I think this is the last one. From ABBA. Anyone? Dancing Queen. Feel the beat from the tambourine, Brianna. Way to go. All right. So this campaign context, right? If you want to book demos with previous customer contacts. So they were a champion at X company, they moved to a new company, you already have a relationship with them, you want to re-engage them, right? This is a play that really can be ongoing, like monthly. You're tracking which contacts are moving to new companies. And the audience, again, we're past company customers who are at new target accounts. I've built some collections. I'll show you one example today. You can build a collection that ranges from $15 to $40 to $100 from Postal Marketplace items. Typically, it's a marketing sales play. Again, you can look at meeting set, pipeline generated, revenue won from this play. Internally, we use User Gems, Postal, Salesforce, and Outreach for this. And then we use like a postal collection. So I'll show you an example of what that can look like. And we send via magic link just in the first step of an outreach sequence. And this has been a really successful campaign for us internally. One of our account executives said responses have been so much higher, especially if you set up the collection where you are either requiring a meeting book or offering the meeting after you give the gift. That she says here, it helps with not having to chase down those contacts afterwards to set a meeting. So if you're setting up the collection, make the meeting offer like as part of the gift acceptance, because it makes it super easy for them to just sign up for a time to meet. Here's an example of a template. Congrats on your new role. Miss working together at X company. This new company is lucky to have you. Here's a gift to say congrats. And that's where you would hyperlink the Magic Link collection. If you're an outreach user, I highly recommend using the sender custom variable fields. So because this is an outreach sequence that many reps would be using, if you set it up here as like here's a gift and then seller insert magic link, then they might have to add that every single time, right? Just grab the magic link hyperlink to drop it in. To make it super easy on the reps, if you're an outreach user, you can use sender custom fields, and then build those custom fields into your templates. So you can, just like any other field that's active in outreach. And I don't know I'm not sure if this is possible for other sales engagement platforms to have these custom fields, but we use these all the time to make it easy for sellers to create that magic link once, and then it's pulled in automatically as part of this template. Here's an example of a celebration collection for under 40. I'm going to be sending out this deck as always to you all, so you can use this as a starting place if you wanted to run this play. This is still in motion, but we've been running it for about 2 months and we've had over 250 people accept this gift. 185K in pipeline created and some really great responses. And again, it's not always leading to a direct meeting, but we get responses like this of, here are all of the people that you need to reach out to as part of, who would be a part of this evaluation. Great work on the thoughtful gift. Love the personalized touch. It's a really good outbound email. One of the only ones I've opened this year, and thanks for the gift. We'll definitely keep in touch as we start scaling our stack. So it's a really great, again, you're building a relationship, building a rapport with these companies. That's it. Thanks for sticking around. We're a little bit over, but I appreciate your time. I'll stick around if anyone has any questions. But appreciate you being here. Thanks for, yes, I will send the deck. So I'll send out the recording once it's up, and I will send out the deck with it. So you guys can take it and just build your own. Use what's successful, right? And do it at your companies. So
Thanks, Katie. Appreciate you.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Bye.